That very much sounds like they're talking about trapping me and recording it. Or something, I think. Unless they were probably talking about Phineas, actually. That would make sense. That would make more sense, in fact. Ignore me. As you probably know to do anyway. Okay. Onwards and upwards. How tall is this place? Oh, this is top floor. Okay. Oh, wait, no. Well, sort of top floor. Top main bit, I guess. Right. Which way, which way, which way? I'm thinking this way. I don't know if it matters. Oh! Yes, it's Sanjar! Surprise, bitch! Oh! Wait, MSI... Oh, shit, wait, MSI is who we want to be helping. I just fucked up, didn't I? I'm sorry. I did not mean to kill. Oh, my bad. He was stood near the bad guys. I didn't realize. That is my bad. Wait, Monarch reputation decreased again. Why? I don't understand the second decrease. Hello, corpse. Don't mind me, just stocking up on ammo before I massacre the both of you. Haha! You love to see it. Ha ha ha! Oh, is that a full loop? I think that's it. Okay. Well, feels bad that I accidentally murdered the person who came to help me. That's unfortunate. But these things happen in the heat of battle, okay? Couldn't be helped. Could not be helped. Where am I going here? Aha! Up!
This is it, huh?
Whatever comes of this, I'm just real glad to know you all.
I'm real glad to know you too, Pavati. Oh boy.
After all you've done, all the work you've destroyed,
Oh
all
shit,
the
there's
money you've
Phineas.
cost me, your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon.
Doomed? Phineas and I are saving the colony. I'm rooting out corruption one idiot at a time. There we go, we'll say that.
Idiot! I'm not the one marching to my death in a maximum security prison. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness. In this one, however, I have only 2 words for you. Fuck off.
Whoa now, there's no call for hostility. You aren't one to mince words, huh? Chairman Rockwell, just the man I'm here to kill.
How dare you? Even thinking about killing the chairman of the Halcyon board is a felony. Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the executioner myself.
I'm not waiting for anything, of course. How long until you're done? A felony, I've made a terrible mistake. I'm not waiting for anything. This colony needs saving right now.
Is that what you think you're doing? This path of wanton societal disruption? You call that being a savior?
I do.
I call it sabotage. You know what saboteurs get, Captain? Summary executions. In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive.
I'm sure we can talk about this, Rockwell. Let's work something out. I'll be there before you know it. I can't wait to get in there and kill you. This is going to be the highlight of my year. Well, I don't want to leave the conversation, so let's see what happens if we say, let's work something out.
Absolutely not. Akande was always the sociable one, not me. Need I repeat the magic 2 words?
Okay, no, that's it. I guess if we'd been a friend to the corpse, maybe we could have potentially chatted something there. I'll be there before you know it. Well, I'm on my way. Prepare your head for bashing. Lol. Big, fat, steaming lol. Oh, hello. Ram. It's General Ram from Gears. He's here. No, no, not again. Anything but that. I get a feeling like he's going to become my bitch. Just purely because of the damage that this thing puts out. Let's find out. Guessing we can't just bypass him. Ah, you can, but you need 100 lockpicking. That's interesting. It's good that the option is there. I like that, though, if you choose to focus on something, you get rewarded right even in the end game. Hello! How's it hanging?
I got him!
That is quite the shield, you have to admit. Well, he's half dead. And now he's fully dead. Oh no. Now he's fully dead. Big lol. Nice boss fight. The hibernation chamber key. I don't suppose that goes here. No. I bet when they were making this boss fight, they were like, there's no way that the player will be able to burn him down in 5 seconds. He's got too much health. He deals too much damage. This is a worthy final boss. And then I come along with my 10 times upgraded Mark II machine gun. And I make a bit of a mockery of him. I wonder what attacks he had. We didn't really get to see any. Oh well. I feel like my choice of weaponry, maxing out my heavy weapons in terms of the perks, getting that to 100 so I shoot through armor, and then maxing out the damage on this thing. I feel like it's all worked out pretty nicely. Unlock with hibernation chamber key. And up we go. Interesting. What's gone on here then? Oh, hello. We're going into posh stuff now. Oh, very nice. I could see myself making a home here after I'm done murdering my way through it. What's down the other side? Ah, sealed. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. It's very pretty, isn't it? These stained glass windows. Of, like, is that the Hope, I guess, maybe? It's funny that their religious symbol on a stained glass window would be a ship instead of, like, Jesus or whatever. Is the chairman behind these doors? He is. Really?
The last of him.
I was going to make a moment of it. Are you shitting me, you two? I was going to make a moment of it. I was going to dodge a couple of bullets while making a speech about how fuck the corpse. And then I was going to execute him. And it was going to be great. And you put a single bullet in him and ruined the moment for me. How dare you? How very fucking dare you? I cannot believe. My God. Hello, Phineas. How's it going, my dude? The chairman's key, an ornate master key for the labyrinth. It likely opens the prison cell at the very top of the facility. You have to wonder what else it opens.
Get me out of here!
I'll think about it. Confront the chair. I cannot believe. I cannot believe. Sealed? What? Oh.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind. And I can't begin to thank you enough.
Are you kidding? The board never stood a chance. You know I wouldn't let anything happen to you. Do you have any idea how much trouble I went through? Are you kidding? The board never stood a chance against me.
Ah, all in a day's work for you, huh?
Indeed.
You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
That's not what I like to hear. I don't like the sound of that at all. Great, I was just about to pop open some drinks and celebrate. Really not in the mood for your theatrics. Great, and I was just about to pop open some drinks and celebrate.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands.
Yeah?
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years.
Oh.
There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Well. Wait, hold on, I need to ask you something. That sounds like a finished conversation thing. Wait, hold on, I need to ask you something.
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
What do you think happened?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
You mentioned a frigate disappearing?
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
They are... I can't tell if this is set up for DLC or set up for sequel. There's something else. I know about the other colonists, Phineas.
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
Fair enough. I forgive you. Better late than never. You're a murderer and a liar. I forgive you, Phineas. I mean, utilitarian viewpoint, right? Greater good. Few people suffered, but I've saved the entire colony. So, you know, worth it?
Thank you. Perhaps in time I'll learn to forgive myself. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
I don't have any more questions. We've got work to do.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
I don't know if we have known each other long enough to call each other old friend yet, but sure. Someone has to run this colony. I'm the only competent person left. You can count on me. I'll help you. I'm going to do what I've always done, whatever I want, all the time. You can count on me. I'll help you revive the other colonists.
When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I was wrong. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support.
Sweet.
We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
I mean, it didn't feel like we were ever really under Earth's thumb. It seemed like, oh, hello, lifetime employment program ruined. Chaos on Tartarus leaves board in disarray. Oh, hello.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable.
This is the end.
From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come.
Oh, good.
The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community.
Oof.
The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation.
Big oof.
Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town.
That's my bad, guys.
Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse.
Oof.
A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter.
Not gonna lie, that's sounding like good riddance.
Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence.
Yeah, go
Their ship's
Tennyson.
mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising.
Sweet.
The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes.
Nice.
With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create.
Good for
He
you,
knew
Max.
there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace.
Okay, I like that ending
Once
for
the
him.
matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed.
Aww.
The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group,
It is
a
Karen.
mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales.
I love you taking on these
Did you
massive
know
dudes.
that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor.
Huh.
Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it.
I'm surprised by that.
As
Good
for
man.
Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry.
Sweet.
Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals.
Worth it.
In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope.
Awesome.
Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony.
Awesome.
Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He
No.
passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived.
Oh, man.
Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
All's quiet in Halcyon for now. There we go! That was The Outer Worlds. And here are the credits. I really like this menu music, by the way. Sometimes I've just, I've gone to record and I bring up the menu and I just sit and listen to this tune because it's just really, really good. I love it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is incredibly interesting. I did not expect... when it started going through, I was like, okay, it'll just wrap things up. But it fully went like, here's the next decade of what happens after the end of the game. Including the death of Phineas Wells and shit. Like, that's some major events. So I was thinking Outer Worlds 2 would take place immediately after Outer Worlds 1 kind of thing. And we'd maybe be investigating what happened to Earth or something with the same cast of characters, Phineas and Parvati and all that lot, but it seems like everyone's left. Nyoka's gone back to Monarch, Parvati's with Tennyson, Felix is fixing stuff, the Vicar is helping people and finding himself, Sam is being a Sam unit, and Ellie is living the good life off that money, I guess. So like, it's fully, we've all gone our separate ways, and Phineas is dead, and it's like, you did it, you saved the colony, things got better over time, it was hard for a while, but everything improved. So, that makes me very curious about what Outer Worlds 2 could potentially be. Obviously, we are getting DLC, and I imagine the DLC will pick up immediately after the ending. Or maybe not, maybe the DLC will just be, like, side quests that will appear at some point in the game, and for me obviously because I've beaten the game they'd appear at the ending, but for other people maybe they'd appear earlier on, and so it wouldn't be like, here's all the future but now let's play a little bit more kind of thing. I'm gonna have to have some thought about that one. Put in the comments then what do you think? Do you reckon Outer Worlds 2, Obsidian special thanks KT for saying yes for a lifetime supply of salt. Oh, these are nice. These are really nice. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted myself. Put in the comments, what do you reckon? Do you reckon Outer Worlds 2 is going to be like a direct continuation from the end of 1, and they're just going to ignore the fact they've told us what happens in the next 10 years anyway? Or do you reckon it's going to be completely different characters, and maybe investigating the Earth thing? But they said that they didn't know what happened to Earth, and that was like from a decade in the future. So, I don't know. That is very interesting to think about. Okay, so overall thoughts. What a fantastic game! Oh my god, absolutely brilliant. That is the best RPG I've played in a long time. I can't even think of that many RPGs that I've played, to be honest, but that is definitely up there with the best. Parvati, especially. Oh man, I love Parvati. She's one of my favourite companions in any game ever, full stop. She was fantastic. She was so sweet and kind and innocent, and it's just lovely. Like, Felix and the Vicar are examples of companions that I did not like having around. They annoyed the hell out of me. Parvati, absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Very much enjoyed her. Very much enjoyed all the quests except for that one at the end that I didn't bother doing. Because that one, for some reason, that just felt so fetch questy and phoned in compared to literally everything else. You've got to give them props because every side quest is like fully voiced, and everyone except that last one has a pretty, like, it has story to it. It's not just, it doesn't feel just as basic. Like, there's reasons for things going on. Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Okay. Back to it. Yeah. All really good side quests. The main quest, apparently, see, this is the thing I didn't realize because I was doing so many side quests, but apparently the main quest is actually pretty short. Apparently if you just mainline the main quest, you can be done in about 15 hours, which would mean if it was 15 hours and each part is over half an hour, it's more like 35 to 40, that would mean the game would be done in about 25 parts. But doing as many side quests as I could, it's what, over 50? Right? I think this is over 50 now. So that's more than doubled the length of the game just by doing the side quests, so that's great. There is a hell of a lot of content here for those who want it. I didn't see what my final playtime was, but it probably said when it saved. Maybe at the end of the credits we can load up. And hooray! The triumphant end of that song. We can load up and see what our final playtime was. I'm not sure if it will actually tell us. I was really hoping that the credits would have ended by now, not gonna lie. Can we give them the old hop, skip, and a jump? We can! Wonderful. Yeah, so if I go load, 1 day, 10 hours, and 4 minutes. So what's that? 34 hours, 4 minutes. Pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, that's more than double how long to beat that website. Good website if you want to know how long a game takes, roughly. How long to beat. If you type in the game name and how long to beat into Google, it will come up. And that said about 15 hours, I think, if memory serves. So that was easily more than double that from all the side quests. So, yes, very good. And yeah, when the DLC comes out, unless it's in, like, well, who knows. We've got a couple of empty months of games, and then it becomes absolute madness again. March, April, May, especially. If it comes out in March, April, May, no promises. But any other time, hopefully, I will get to it, because I love this game, and I would happily play more in the world with the characters. And seeing more, that was so good. Easily one of the best things I've played this year. Overall, I'd give it... It's got to be at least an 8.5. I'm trying to think of reasons to knock points off it, but I can't really. So it's probably more like a 9, honestly. Because that was just a really, really solid, all-round, fun, and awesome experience. And I guess that is where we'll leave it. Thank you very much for watching, those who've stuck with it all the way. I greatly appreciate you. Hope you've enjoyed the series. If you have, if you could leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, you probably have by this point if you're on the last part, I would imagine. Maybe I've done something to earn a sub. But yes, the like as well, that really helps out. If you can share the videos around, share the playlist around, that also really helps. Shares are like the best way to get people to go, ah, okay, it's just click that, I may as well try it kind of thing. That helps me out a lot. And if you really like what I do, there is a Patreon link in the description. Any money you could afford to give would be hugely appreciated and help keep this channel running into the new year. And with that, all that's left to say is I will see you somewhere else for something new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.